Resonators resonators are most widely used circuits in communication systems, particularly in circuits such as oscillators, filters, tuners, and frequency mixers. They are used to generate signals at particular frequency or to select a particular frequency from a complex input signal. It acts as a bandpass filter. It exhibits resonance in that it naturally oscillates at a frequency known as resonant frequency. Usually at low frequencies, inductor, capacitor, and resistors are used to implement the resonators. When the signals apply to the resonator circuits that matches the resonant frequency of the circuit will passes through the resonator circuit with a less or no attenuation. But the signals which outside the resonant frequency, either side of the resonant frequency, attenuated more. So the resonator circuit, for example, like this resonator circuit, if you apply input signal to here, the frequencies which is matches with the resonant frequency of this circuit, that passes through the resonant circuit with a lesser attenuation or with a no attenuation, as shown in this figure. So the frequency with f naught, that is called as resonant frequency, passes with a lesser attenuation. So here this is a plot of V naught versus V naught divided by Vin. That means at resonant frequency the ratio is equal to 1. Ratio 1 means the input is equal, output is equal to input. So with a lesser attenuation, assuming this is a passive resonator circuit, at the resonant frequency, for ideal case, the output is equal to input. So lesser attenuation or no attenuation will be for the resonant frequency f naught. But either side of the resonant frequency, the output voltage go on reduces like this. Similarly, at the lower side also it reduces like this. So this is like similar to the band pass filter. It selects a particular frequency like a f naught, and on either side of that frequency, attenuation increases and the output signal reduces. So this is the frequency response of resonators. Most of the resonators we are expecting this output. Ideally, output is equal to input at the resonant frequency, but practically output is lesser than the input frequency, input voltage. Resonator circuit, it is a combination of LC and R. LCR combination, it may be in this form. This resonator circuit is consists at lower frequencies. It may be a network like this. LC and R may be connected in series form, or it may be connected in the parallel form, like LC and R are connected in parallel form as shown in this figure. Any one of this, it may consist this resonator circuit. So this resonator circuit is a widely used circuit in most of our communication circuits. And once we come across a resonator circuit, quality factor is a very important parameter of resonator circuits. The quality factor says the selectivity of the resonator circuit, because it is used for selecting a particular frequency or to generate a particular frequency. So this quality factor says how much it is effective this resonator circuit to generate to select a particular frequency from the input complex signal or to generate a particular frequency. So this quality factor, higher the value of quality factor, it's a good in selectivity. So higher the quality factor here, this is corresponds to Q1, and this response is corresponds to quality factor equal to 2, and this is for Q3. So higher the quality factor, Q1 is assuming Q1 is greater, Q2 and Q3 responses are like this. Q1 is greater than Q2, Q2 is greater than Q3. As we can observe from here, the selectivity of the one reduces. Actually, the bandwidth reduces here. Bandwidth increases here for the Q1, which is the highest value here in this chosen. Q1 is greater than other two's Q2 and Q3. Q1 is we have a bandwidth like this from 3 dB bandwidth. This is a maybe 3 dB bandwidth. 3 dB bandwidth of this is lesser than the 3 dB bandwidth of quality factors Q2 and Q3. So here the lesser the bandwidth is more the quality factor. Q is a measure of loss of a resonant circuit. Lower loss implies a higher Q, and higher Q implies a narrower bandwidth. So this for resonant, there are two type of quality factors are there: unloaded Q and loaded quality factor. So here unloaded quality factor is calculated using this equation. It is unloaded quality factor means the resonator circuit is not connected to the load resistance. Assuming, and also source resistance may be equal to 0. Load resistance is not connected. In such a case, this resonator quality factor is defined by this equation called as unloaded quality factor, that is omega naught L divided by R. R it can also be calculated if you know the capacitor value. Similarly, for the parallel resonant circuit, the quality factor is given by this equation, R divided by omega naught into L. So this quality factor is a very important parameter in case of a resonator circuit. It says the selectivity of how much it is effective in selecting a particular frequency, or generating a particular frequency. So here this selectivity means lesser bandwidth. That is a more selective in signal. Unloaded quality factor. This is an unloaded quality factor when the resonator is connected to the load resistance like this RL as shown in this figure. The quality factor changes. So this quality factor calculated, called as a loaded quality factor, calculated using this equation, F naught divided by delta F at minus 3 dB point. That is a frequency difference by either side of the center frequency, where the power is half of the power at a resonant frequency. Or in terms of voltage, it is 0.70 output is peak value is 0.7 volts times the peak value. The voltage at this position is 0.7 times the maximum voltage. So here if you take a frequency from here to here, that is delta F. So that delta F, using that delta F, we can calculate the loaded quality factor here. For a loaded circuits like this, resonator circuits, the quality factor changes. That quality factor for a loaded circuit is given by this equation. It is omega naught L divided by R dash. It is R dash is equal to R plus RL. And similarly for a parallel RLC circuit, it is equal to R dash divided by omega naught into L. R can be calculated using capacitor like this. This is R dash is there. R dash is given by R in parallel with the RL. This R is a resonator circuit resistance, RL is a load resistance. So that load resistance and resonator circuits are in parallel to while calculating the value of quality factor of this loaded resonators. So that load value, load resistance or load affects the quality factor of the overall circuit. Similarly, even source resistance also affects the quality factor of the resonator. This is considering load resistance, the quality factor changes. So that is calculated using like this. So as we saw in the low frequencies, low frequency LC and R lumped elements like L, C and R are used to implement the resonator circuit, and the frequency, resonant frequency is given by 1 by root of 2 pi root of LC. Resonant frequency calculated using equation 1 by 2 pi root of LC. So that is a lumped element resonator circuit. It resonates at a frequency F naught. That is given by 1 by 2 pi root of LC. But as you go for high frequency operation, as we know nowadays, the frequency of operation shifting towards the lower end of optical frequency range. in the order of hundreds of gigahertz. In that frequency range, it is difficult to find lumped elements to implement the resonator circuits because the size of the commonly used lumped elements in resonators is of the order of a centimeter. This size is comparable to the wavelength at microwave frequency. For example, at 30 gigahertz, the wavelength is 10 centimeter and it is 1 centimeter at 300 gigahertz. So this wavelength of operating signal at 300 gigahertz in the order of 1 centimeter. So as we know, lumped element components like inductor, capacitor and resistor, their length is in the order of more than 1 centimeter. So there the length of the component becomes comparable with the wavelength of operation. So if that is the case, there is a phase variation over the length of the component. A finite next one is a finite time delay between the cause and the effect becomes important when the length of the line L becomes comparable to the wavelength lambda. So this is another problem. There is a delay. Delay will be there between the cause and the effect. So that we cannot neglect at RF and microwave frequencies. We have to consider the delay. Otherwise, there is a phase variation. Practical inductor and capacitors have parasitic resistor, which is not negligible at RF and microwave frequencies. This resistive part gives rise to the loss and degrade the inductor and capacitor quality factor at RF and microwave frequencies. Similarly, lump elements are difficult use above 3 gigahertz. This results from the fact that parasitic capacitance and lead length inductor issues make them impracticable to fabricate at microwave frequency ranges. To implement the inductor of the lumped element components, and that is called as parasitic inductor. Similarly, the capacitor between any two conductor, that is called as a parasitic capacitor, that cannot be neglected at a higher frequencies in the order of gigahertz. So those parasitic inductor and capacitors difficult they are imposes fabrication difficulties at RF and microwave frequency ranges. Due to parasitic capacitor and inductor, lumped capacitor and inductor exhibit self-resonance. This self-resonant frequency we have to consider while designing the circuits at RF and microwave frequencies. So these are the some of the problems, issues to be addressed while designing RF and microwave resonators. So it is difficult to fabricate lumped elements like inductor, capacitor and resistor at RF and microwave frequency regime. So it is impossible to implement resonators using those lumped elements at RF and microwave frequency region. So the solution is people are using transmission line resonators instead of lumped element resonators at RF and microwave frequencies. Transmission lines are used to implement the resonators.